Good evening. To go ahead and open your Bible to Genesis chapter 7. Genesis chapter 7. As you know, Genesis chapter 5, you have the genealogy of that God gives us, and then you get into Genesis chapter 6, and you see the wickedness of man and all the evil that's going on, and God uses Noah, a man who was righteous, a man who found favor in the Lord's eyes, and gives him the blueprints, the plans for preparing an ark, and then the flood coming in Genesis chapter 7. In Genesis chapter 7 and verse 16, so those that entered, male and female of all flesh. And of course, you know the animals that entered and were allowed into the ark for their purposes. But when it comes to that of people, the humans, there were only 8, as you know, Noah and his wife and their 3 sons and their wife. So when you think about all the world and the population of the world at that time, and you realize how many people were outside of the ark, and you start thinking about that, only these 8 were in the ark. So those that entered, male and female of all flesh, went in as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. Notice that. The Lord shut him in. When the door is shut, when the opportunities end, we're living tonight with an open door to salvation, an open door into Christ. But one day that door is going to close. Look to Matthew chapter 25. Open your Bible to the book of Matthew chapter 25. We must realize that, the door's open now, but I need to think seriously about that. Think that how that door can close. In Matthew chapter 25, beginning in verse 1, the kingdom of heaven shall be likened to 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. Now 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish. Those who were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. But while the bridegroom was delayed, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight a cry was heard, behold, the bridegroom is coming, go out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said to the wise, give us some of your oil, for our lamps are going out. But the wise answered, saying, no, lest there should not be enough for us and you. Go rather to those who sell and buy for yourselves. We see at the beginning of this parable that all 10 had oil. All 10 were where they needed to be. I would say all 10, if we're looking at it in the Christian period of time, were Christians. All 10 had made the initial steps of preparation. 5 of them, though, they did not continue to prepare. They did not continue to add oil to their lamps. They did not have enough, and the lamp would go out. We see also that they were not able to share with one another. You can encourage each other. We encourage each other. That's one of the reasons we're here tonight, to encourage one another, to help each other to go to heaven. We're on a team together, God's team, trying to help each other to go to heaven. But ultimately, I'll stand before God in judgment by myself, as will all others. And I must give an account for what I do. When you get to verse 10, while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went in with him to the wedding, and the door was shut. On that day that Noah and his family went into the ark, how sad it was for every other person alive outside of the ark when the rain began to fall, the floodwaters began to rise. There was nowhere they could go. There was no hope whatsoever. That is true in the church. We have opportunity right now today, tonight, with the door open of salvation to get into Christ. Eventually, the door will be shut. Eventually, whether it be by death, physically or mentally, or the Lord's return, that door is going to shut. Won't you come and enter the door of salvation tonight? Let us help you to do that. Take advantage of the opportunity that you have right here, right now, tonight. We'll study with you. We'll baptize you into Christ if you're a penitent believer. We'll pray with you to get back into Christ if you're a baptized believer but has not been faithful. Don't wait around. Once the door's shut, it's too late. Come tonight as we stand and as we sing.